Hello, everyone. Welcome to Durrett's Take. It's that time of the week where I go over my top 10 games for each week. So let's get started with the biggest game of the week, which is number 2, Georgia versus number 4, Alabama. Georgia 2-point favorites. It's a primetime ABC game. These matchups have been very good over the recent years, and I think this year will be no different. Both teams have benefited from the bye week, especially Georgia since they didn't put up a lot of points in their game against Kentucky 2 weeks ago. The key for Alabama is to not settle for too many field goals here, like Kentucky did. If they do, then that's where Georgia's going to pounce. If Alabama turns this into, touchdowns and maybe a high-scoring affair, then Georgia is in trouble. The Bulldogs have some offensive lineers that I think could be the difference in this game. Therefore, I have the roll tide winning this game. I have Alabama winning 24-19. Next, you got 19 Illinois versus 9 Penn State, who are 19-point favorites. It's a primetime NBC game. Illinois has proved so far that this may not be a team that's just mediocre and trying to make it to the bowl game like I originally thought. The offense has improved from last season, and the defense has made really good strides, shutting down the Nebraska in the second half there in overtime last week. If the Nittany Lions offensive coordinator, or at least if I'm the Nittany Lions offensive coordinator, this may be a rare game where they need to focus on the pass more instead of running the ball, since Illinois is good at stopping the run. If quarterback Drew Aller does not make mistakes and plays clean football, I feel Penn State should escape with a win. So I have Penn State winning 24-20, but I definitely don't have them covering the spread. And next, you get number 3. You got 15 Louisville versus 16 Notre Dame, who are 6.5-point favorites. 3:30 game on Peacock. Take out USC. If there's one other game on the Irish schedule that they could potentially slip up and therefore cost them a trip to the playoffs, this is the game. The Irish had no answers for Louisville last season. I feel Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman will scheme up things and have an answer for Louisville's rushing attack. So then this game comes down to the Irish quarterback, Riley Leonard. As long as he doesn't make mistakes, Notre Dame should win this game at home. If he does make mistakes, then the results may look similar to last year's matchup. I'm going to go on a limb and say that Leonard has been figuring things out the last 2 games and playing better, and therefore he's going to play a clean game, and therefore Notre Dame gets the win. I have them winning 21-19. Number 4, you got 20 Oklahoma State versus 23 Kansas State, or 4.5-point favorites. New ESPN game. Lots of people thought one of these teams will be in the Big 12 title game. I feel that this actually could be an elimination game, which is crazy to say since it's only game 2 of conference play, but here we are. I feel very strongly that the Wildcats will bounce back here after the big loss to BYU. For starters, Kansas State at home versus them on the road is a night and day difference. Next, Oklahoma State has had trouble stopping the rushing attack of Utah last week. And they had trouble stopping Utah's rushing attack. Imagine what Kansas State's rushing attack is going to do against them. And then also Oklahoma State on offense continues to be very inconsistent. It's too much hot and coldness and no consistency with veteran Alabama getting benched, not benched, and all that. So maybe Oklahoma State's able to be competitive in this game, but to me this game might result more in like from 2 weeks ago when Kansas State hosted Arizona. So I have Kansas State beating Oklahoma State 30-13. Number 5, you got Arizona versus number 10 Utah, who are 11-point favorites. Late game on ESPN. Even with Cam Rising out and true freshman Zach Wilson's brother, starting in his place, the offense is able to always do enough, and that's what they need to do since the defense is the best in the conference. I know Arizona's coming off a bye, but I can't get out of my head what I saw 2 weeks ago versus Kansas State for them. So therefore, I have the Utes winning and using a similar blueprint that Kansas State did win this game. I have Utah winning 34-14. Number 6, you got Arkansas versus 24 Texas A&M, or 4-point favorites, 3:30 game ESPN. For the most part, this rivalry has kind of produced some good games, and I expect that to be the case once again. Arkansas's offense, as long as the offensive line holds up, is hard to stop. Luckily, the Aggies have the defense to contain Arkansas. Then it comes down to whether the Aggies' offense holds up. Arkansas doesn't have the best defense, so as long as the Aggies play clean football, which is a big if, then they should escape with a win. I have them winning 31-24. Number 7, you got Colorado versus UCF, or 15-point favorites, 3:30 game on Fox. Colorado got a miraculous win, which included a Hail Mary and a forced fumble at the goal line in overtime. Congrats to the Buffaloes for being above 500 so far. However, this is a game, like the Nebraska game, where their true colors could be shown here. I have I have faith in Travis Hunter, but other than that, I have no faith in Colorado's defense to get a stop against this high-powered UCF rushing offense. So it comes down to, can Colorado's offense win in a shootout? I know Colorado likes shootout games, but I don't think this is a game that they're going to want to get into a shootout and wins. I have UCF winning 36-24. Number 8, you got Washington State versus 25 Boise State, 7.5-point favorites. A late game on FS1. Boise State just got ranked in the top 25, and Washington State is barely behind them first team out. So this is an important game for both teams, but especially Boise here. They need a signature win because they had a chance against Oregon and they didn't get it. So they need a signature win so they can impress the playoff committee. So that way, if they win the Mat West, they could be in the playoffs. Also, for Washington State, if they run the table, and that's totally plausible with their schedule, then they could maybe sneak into the playoffs at large, although I wouldn't count on that, but that's still technically the case. I believe the Boise State star running back Alshon Gentry will do his thing, but I don't trust the Broncos' defense to slow down Washington State. It's very hard to pick against Boise State when they're playing on the blue turf, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm going Washington State with the upset, 38-31. 9, you got Washington versus Rutgers, your 2.5-point favorites, a Friday night game on Fox. It was hard to pick matchups which should belong in my top 10, but the Friday night matchups on Fox have been good so far, so I'm going to that one here. Rutgers is one of those sneaky dark horse teams in the Big Ten, and I think their defense will show the Huskies how hard it'll be to score in the Big Ten Conference. I have Rutgers winning 24-16. And then last but not least, number 10, you got Cincinnati versus Texas Tech, or 3-point favorites, 8 p.m. ESPN2 game. More often than not, Big 12 games usually produce good results, which I feel like could be the case here. I feel like the loser of this game may miss out on a bowl game. So it's very important here for both these teams. What Cincinnati has to do is to stick to their game plan of rushing the ball and dominating the time possession. If they do that, they will have a great chance to win the game. I feel Cincinnati will use the game plan I just outlined, but at home, the Red Raiders find a way to get the upset here, either winning a close game, 30-27. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe and channel about me. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.